What's going on, guys? Over this summer and last summer, there's been several new fragrances introduced to my summer rotation. Some that I reach for more than others, and then some that have just surprisingly gotten me some pretty good feedback outside of just my wife. We're talking random people, other family members, friends, and such. And in this video, I felt like it was time to do the annual video. Once a year, I definitely do this one. We're talking about the 10 most complimented summer fragrances for me personally in my rotation. So let's talk about them. Stay tuned. One that I have been an absolute advocate for. The hype is real on this one. If you can find it at TJ Maxx, you're going to spend 32 bucks. It is the ever so hyped up Missoni Wave. This stuff is awesome. It's a cross between Chanel Laurent Sport and Versace Polo. Two phenomenal standalone fragrances. This kind of takes a lot of that creaminess and aquatic nature from Chanel Laurent Sport with some of that more white floral soapy tone that you get from Versace Polo. Gorgeous fragrance that performs above average, and like I said, it'll definitely pull in a nice compliment or two here and there. This is one that I keep going back to, and if and when I run across it again at a rack store, I may scoop another bottle. Not that I need another bottle anytime soon, but for maybe one day down the line, because it takes forever, never for them to spoil when they're sealed and never get atomized into the air or anything like that. So if I ever run across it again, I'll probably scoop it. If not, I mean, this bottle will last me a very long time, but it's one that, like I said, I'm an advocate for. This is awesome. If you come across this one under $40, it's well worth it in that price point. And like I said, you're going to get, most people anyways, are going to get average to slightly above average performance. And like I said, it's extremely attractive to those around you. Awesome for the summer. Definitely pulls a compliment. It's Missoni Wave. Next, this one personally is a favorite of mine that admittedly I haven't really been wearing much this summer. I have it on my rotation table to go ahead and add it to the rotation within the next week or so. It's one that has a great nostalgic tie for me. I wore it to my stepson's graduation. We're talking about Ralph Lauren Polo Deep Blue Parfum. This is showing up at Nordstrom racks for a great price. Those of you that haven't seen my newest Nordstrom rack video with the recording of this, where I picked up Azzaro Chrome Pure, check it out. They have Polo Cologne Intense, cheap. Polo Sport, cheap. Polo Deep Blue Parfum for a great price. The 125 ml like this, right around $52 or $54. That's a really good price for this fragrance. It performs above average. It's kind of a cross between the original Polo Blue, which actually happen to have within arm's reach right here. I've been wearing that this week at the recording of this video. It's a cross between that and Dior Sauvage. There's a little bit of fresh green cypress sprinkled in between it. So it is a modern day blue fragrance with some ambroxan, but it's a damn good one. Like I said, it's taking Polo Blue and making one of those modern blue fragrances out of it. This stuff is stellar. I think I've gotten a compliment pretty much every time I've worn it. And I've only worn this one maybe 2 handfuls of times over the last 2 years. But it's a great fragrance, and if you can get it for a great price, which they're out there for what I feel is a great price, get your nose on it some kind of way, because it may be your favorite Polo Blue you've ever smelled. It's Polo Deep Blue Parfum. Another one that's newer to the collection that I'm an absolute advocate for, that I keep going back to, it's basically spicy Invictus is how you can look at it. The Middle Eastern take on Invictus, that being Rasasi Hawas. The hype beast, cheapy, that's a complete beast in its own right as far as performance. The stuff is incredibly good. I don't do more than 4 sprays now with this bottle. It is super duper loud and long lasting on my skin. I don't need more than 4 sprays, and it reaches out and grabs people. Every time I've been to the store or ran errands and had this on, not every single time, but most of the times that I can remember, somebody said something about me smelling nice, or ooh, what are you wearing, or something along those lines. Grocery stores are notorious. Cashiers and servers at restaurants, hostess at restaurants, that's usually the random times that this stuff happens, and this fragrance has notoriously been doing that for me this year in 2022. It's a gorgeous fragrance. You can get them, like I said, in the $40 some odd range. well worth your money, I'm telling you. If you like Invictus, this is kind of the ultimate Invictus. I know a lot of people compare it to the old Aqua 2016. I think it's more Invictus with some spice. So check this one out if you haven't yet. It's a monster in every category. Pulling compliments, longevity, projection, sillage, great price, smells good. It checks everything. Rasasi Hawas. Next, it's a modern day summer compliment king. It really is. The performance is there. The compliment factor is there. The versatility is definitely there. With Versace Dylan Blue. Nothing best kept secret here. Everybody's heard of this one a time or two. It's awesome. It just is. Admittedly, the first time I smelled it, the first 2 or 3 times I put it on my skin, I wasn't a big fan and didn't get the hype, but it grew on me to where I bought a bottle. And it's one that I always go back to sporadically throughout the year, but summertime is a great time for it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it through there, the juice level. There you go. You can see the juice level a little bit. I've put a nice dent in this bottle because I constantly go back to it. It's one that I don't do more than 5 sprays because it's very strong on my skin. You don't have to spray this one heavy. Even though it may not smell strong to you after an hour or two, it's anosmia. It's going nose blind. You're getting olfactory fatigue. I'm saying it every which way, so whoever's listening can understand exactly what I'm saying. Your nose will wear out. It'll smell a lot weaker than it actually is to those around you. In personal experience, I've gotten compliments 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in to wearing this fragrance where I myself thought it was faint, faded, time for a refresh. Glad I didn't refresh because it turns out I did not need it. Another one, affordable, sub $50 price point. All-time great compliment king, one of the best blue fragrances ever made. It works in every situation. It's just great. Had to be in this video because it definitely fits the topic. Versace Dylan Blue. Another one that's new to the collection, cheap, affordable, another blue fragrance, but I was surprised at just how good it actually is. We're talking about Rochas Loam. This stuff is so freaking good. As long as you like juniper. As long as you're okay with juniper, because it's heavy in the juniper. There's a little bit of spices. There's some geranium that provides a little bit of a minty freshness. Another one, mega versatile, pulls in a nice compliment. I haven't had it for a long time. I've worn it about a handful, maybe 6 times at most. And I want to say I've gotten a compliment at least half the times that I've worn it. Wife loves this one. This is a personal favorite of hers. She told me I definitely need to wear this one a lot more. The bottle style is cool. The price is cheap and affordable. I got a brown box tester for 30 bucks on eBay. You can find it in the $30 to $40 range a lot of places, even in the $40 to $50 range. This fragrance is worth it, but you can definitely find it in the previous price range that I listed, the $30 to $40 range. You're doing really good at that point. I did a full review on this one not too long ago with the recording of this video. If you want to hear my full thoughts, make sure to check that video out. I'll probably have an iCard somewhere around here. But telling you, really good stuff. Surprised me how good this stuff really is. Kind of one of those deals where I knew I wanted it ever since it came out. I want to say 2020. And I just wanted to wait till it was readily available from discounters. And got to that point, and it's like, damn, why didn't I get this sooner? Because this suits me to a T. It's no secret I'm a big fan of versatile blue fragrances. This is one of the best ones to come out in a long time. Again, that's Rochas L'homme. So while not a complete niche video, this is the one niche fragrance here because it fits. Because there's another one that I don't wear all the time. I'm sparing with it. It's here and there that I wear it. But it's one that I pretty much go gaga over the smell. I love the way this smells. My wife loves the way this smells. My in-laws and so on. I've actually gotten compliments quite often wearing this fragrance. I mean, it's Elysium Parfum Cologne. There's no secret here. This is a massive compliment getter for many people out there. It's expensive. It's metallic. It's fruity. It's fresh. It's versatile. It's one of the best smelling fresh fragrances ever. At least in my opinion. This stuff is so good. Been out for a few years now. I want to say 2017 it came out. Like I said, there's no secret when it comes to the compliment factor on this one. Performance beast, not in the least bit. For me, I actually get average to above average, 5 to 7 hours. Every time I've ever worn it, I've never really gotten less than 5 hours, but I never eclipse 7 into the 8-hour territory, which for me and the freshness of this scent profile, I'm good with. Just because it's super expensive, it's not necessarily about getting every ounce of performance out of it. It's about the experience. It's about the scent profile. If you love a scent, you love a scent. I love this scent. This stuff is really good. Obviously, since it's expensive, I would highly advise getting a decant or a sample and trying it first before you commit to it. Not for as versatile and great as this fragrance is, too expensive to be blind buy safe. Just saying. But it works like gangbusters if you're looking for that summer fragrance that does it all and definitely is super attractive to those around you. Check out Elysium, Parfum Cologne from Rochas Parfums. While admittedly this whole line could go in here, I could have put any Aqua Dijo fragrance in this video because they're known to pull compliments. They're extremely, probably arguably the most mass appealing men's fragrance designer line on the market. Historically, from the original all the way to the newest eau de parfum flanker, but for me, Aqua Dijo Absolu, I've gotten more compliments out of this fragrance than any other in the line. Profondo works great. Profumo works great. And so on. Profondo Lights, I've gotten several compliments wearing that one. It don't matter. Like I said, any of them could have been in there, but if you're going to count them up, this is the one that does it for me pretty much every time I wear it. Gorgeous fruity freshness. Still has that aquatic marine tone to it with a nice earthy patchouli in the dry down. The way I like to describe this one is you take Aqua Dijo Profumo, you remove the incense, and you add some fruity notes, you get Absolu. Because it still has that same marine note and patchouli that you'll find there. You're taking the smokiness away without removing that earthy patchouli. I'm telling you, patchouli lovers, this is actually underrated as a patchouli fragrance. I don't find enough people talk about it. Maybe it's just on my skin, I don't know. But the patchouli shines here. It mixes very, very well with these fruity notes and that marine tone. Beautiful fragrance. Underrated. Came out to mixed reviews. People say it smells like Invictus Aqua. Somewhat minutely similar, but it's more its own thing in my opinion. I love this stuff. It definitely is a great summertime, highly complimented fragrance. Aqua Dijo Absolu. Speaking of Invictus Aqua, you take that. You take YSLY. And you take Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct, and you get Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct together. It's kind of an amalgamation, a combination of highlights of all three. You got grapefruit citrus. You got a bunch of ambergris. It's super aquatic smelling. I love this stuff. I have multiple bottles of this. Eventually I'll run through this 50 ml, and I'm going to bust open that 100 ml that I have. And then maybe one day I'll run through that 100 ml. Then I'll bust open that other 50 ml that I have. And you get the point. I love this stuff. This is another one, not best kept secret if you watch my channel. I talk about this one especially in the warmer months. Even in the colder months, I like to wear this one to run errands, and I like to wear this one sitting around, lounging around, out the shower. This is awesome. They still pop up at the rack stores. 100 mLs are going for 30 bucks. It's a steal at that price point. It's not winning any longevity awards. 4 to 5 hours on my skin, then it's gone. But the first 2 hours are very loud, and it captivates and captures people. Very chemically synthetic, don't get me wrong. If that kind of stuff bothers you, you'll hate this. But if you don't mind that, if you're okay with it, it doesn't give you a headache, you're not sensitive to those types of things, maybe roll the dice on this one next time you see it at a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx or something like that. Because you might end up thanking me later. You know my little line that I end the videos with if you're familiar with my channel. This is one of those fragrances. Highly complimented, cheap summer fragrance that doesn't get enough love. Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct together. So with the Abercrombie fragrance, I mentioned it was a combination of this and 2 other fragrances. This is the original formulation of YSLY Eau de Toilette. Those of you that have been watching me at least since last spring to summer when I got this, which I was very late to the party, I love this stuff. This is like insta compliment. If I go out in public, go to dinner, whatever. I've worn this to dinner a few times. Wearing this, I know it's a little too chemically synthetic for some. The newer version is overall better, YSLY EDT 2022. I have a decant of it. I kind of did a comparison video between the two. Make sure to check that out. Yes, it's more vanilla. Yes, it's more sweet. Yes, it performs better. This has never been a slouch on my skin. And this is more aldehyde dominant, crisp, bright, and airy. This is a much more bright and airy and light fragrance. I still love the way this smells. It's still going to be heavy in the rotation this summer. And it's one that they clearanced out at a certain point. I ended up grabbing another 100 ml bottle from Sephora for 39 bucks. So I'm square on this. It's one that every summer is going to be heavy in the rotation moving forward. I'm spraying it again because I love this stuff. Most notably, I'll never forget the first night that I wore this. I went to dinner, and I got a compliment from the hostess as she sat us. And then I got a compliment from our server as soon as they greeted us at the table, because I had just sprayed it like 45 minutes to an hour prior. So it was still nice and strong in its projection. And within a few feet, they could smell me easily, obviously. Underrated compliment getter right here, guys. Works for me. Not saying it'll work for you. Not saying I get a compliment every time I wear it. The probability definitely goes up, and I've had great experiences with this. That's why I sell YEDT, the original formula. And probably my most complimented fragrance, period, for summer. It's my second bottle. I have a third bottle. I have a 50 ml backup. This is a tester bottle. We're talking about Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua 2018. This is the 2018 formula. I prefer the 2018 formula to the 2016. I love this stuff. It's one of my happy fragrances. It puts me in a great mood. This is a mood booster for me. It really is. It's very aquatic, citrusy, a little powdery floral from the violet and violet leaf that's going on in this. It's freaking beautiful. It does so well in the high heat too. This is still, in my humble opinion, one of the kings of summer when it comes to men's fragrances. I know not everybody feels that way, but then again, there may be more people than I'm giving it credit for, because this is a highly replicated fragrance by many, many, many other companies that make their own twist on Invictus Aqua. So that definitely holds some weight, I guess. But above average performer for me. Not a beast like the rest of the line, but 6-7 hours on my skin. Loud in the first hour and a half to 2 hours. This is one that I tend to refresh 3, 4, 5 hours in, just because I want to relive that big, heavy projection, bright opening, because like I said, I just love this fragrance. This will probably be in this video every year for as long as I make videos on this channel, because it's that good for me. Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua 2018. Well, that is the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What's that one fragrance that just the probability skyrockets? More times than not, if you wear this in the summertime, somebody's going to tell you you smell nice and want to know what you're wearing. Let me know down in the comments. I'm very curious. Or if there's a multitude of fragrances that this is my highly complimented summer rotation. If it's 3, 4, 5 fragrances, whatever. I'd love to read about it in the comments. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 featured in this video and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.